I'd like to show you guys some of this Garmin stuff. I think it's interesting. I think there's a lot of things that can be done with it that aren't totally brought to everyone's attention. And in this case, I was able to set it up for a bit of redundancy with the Garmin power switch. Like I said, since this is a Garmin tread-based screen, Garmin has a few other options that is compatible with the tread. And right here, it would be the Garmin power switch, which is a relay box and a switch center that Bluetooth to the display. So you can go up to your app here, click on the power switch app, and then it integrates our light function to the screen, which is a real cool feature, I think, because Garmin's a high quality, in my eyes, a high quality unit, where like if you just do like a toggle switch from Napa for the lights, I think you could come into some vibration issues over time where we know this is going to be more than robust enough to keep working. And then also on the switch itself, it has buttons for some redundancy if for some reason the Bluetooth doesn't connect right away or it loses signal. But in the case, we never had any signal loss between the Garmin power switch and the display. Also, going over to the map situations like we talked earlier about the track. So this is pulling up location where we're at right now. I just want to like put it in perspective like how quick this thing is. It doesn't lag. It's like an iPhone or like any phone. It's just quick. Like you can just hold the out and it just zooms out, super clean and smooth. And this display isn't brand new. It's got a ton of hours on it. I think it's like 80 some hours. So now you can look back over to our Alaska here on the map. And this is back to where I was talking about how I loaded in tracks for the course. So here's Anchorage, and then this is the Big Lake area, and this is the trail we took all the way throughout the course. But now, if you zoom in, like this is the bay where we had some visibility issues, which pretty sure it's ocean. Yeah, ocean. So all these little lines are tracks from previous years from other racers that I downloaded in. So I had a good baseline to where I was going. And the red line would be our line from this past year. What's cool is like probably right about here-ish, it was a whiteout. You know, there's like basically no visibility. But I had these other tracks that I could baseline off of to get me pointed in the right direction. And I mean, as you can tell, it dropped us right into the fuel stop almost perfectly with zero issues. But then what's cool is you go here to layers and these are some of the tracks I downloaded. Like if you click here, you should erase, let's see here. Yeah, so these are the tracks I downloaded. And then, of course, I don't know what I'm doing here. Yeah, so there's the tracks, some of the tracks that are layered on here. And then there's ours. All right, since this is a Garmin rig here, all these tracks throughout the years and all the other racers tend to use a Garmin, basically like a side mount, since the sleds besides Arctic Cat now is integrated with the Garmin. So all these tracks are all GPX files through Garmin. And like I said, I reached out to teams trying to get a few tracks to baseline to kind of know where I'm going and have a whereabouts. But what's cool is, so to get them GPX files, you have to have them emailed to you or shared through the Tread app. So if you go back here, you can use your phone through the Tread app and they can send you the GPX files. And once you get the files on your phone, on the Tread, you can connect your phone with a profile. So like here's my vehicle profile on my phone right now, currently auto Bluetooth to it. So if you click here, I have this profile, which would be the one where my maps were shared to. And if you go, as soon as you connect your phone profile with the Bluetooth profile on this Garmin, it auto syncs all your maps on your phone. So like on my phone, you can go to the app right here, which would be the Garmin Tread app, and click it, and it's the same exact tracks on your phone as it is on the display. And you can adjust the colors on your tracks on this app. So like in this case, I put all the other teams or the other tracks I had in green, and then I overlaid mine with red, just so I knew which ones were which. And not only was it great for the race, but it was great to be able to study it without having your machine. So if I had all the tracks in my phone and I'm sitting on the couch and I'm bored prior to the race or prior to the event, I can kind of just like scroll through here and really understand where we're going. If we're going on the Yukon River, if we're going to this village, and kind of get a good baseline of what we're actually trying to accomplish. And I think without doing this as a first timer that's really going in blind, I don't necessarily know if it would be as easy as we had it. I'm not saying we had it easy, but as far as navigation goes, at no point was I turned around or lost ever once. And throughout the course, we got in this situation where we were at a checkpoint getting gas, and like there's villagers like, you know, you gotta take a right when you get to the ocean. The other teams missed it. And 2 teams didn't take the right at the ocean. And for me, never being an Alaskan, when I hear take a right at the ocean, that's pretty vague. But with the G8 and tracks loaded, I could watch it as I was going and be like, oh yeah, so it looks like the ocean, like you could go up the loop backwards to the right, but now I see where I think they're the way they wanted us to go. And I think without having the maps, I don't know if I would have made that correction by him telling me, take a right at the ocean. You know, it's pretty vague. And stuff like that for a first timer going to try to do this, I think is really important. And just making sure you check the boxes on knowing where you're going, because that's, I thought was going to be the biggest battle for us, is just knowing where we're going. And come to find out, I think that was, honestly, I had no issues at all. I think it was the easiest part, was knowing where to go.